Okay, guys, we're still on the journey here. I'm going to blow your mind with this series. I have absolutely no doubt. If you're a Canadian, still on the fence about whether or not AI is right for you or right for people in general, stay tuned. This is the second video in a series that is aiming to expose more Canadians to AI technology, how it could be helpful for them in their job, everyday lives. This technology is being deemed like the miracle tech in the States just because of how powerful it is. Yet in Canada, we're constantly bombarded with headlines about AI risk, AI fear. It's like for whatever reason the powers that be want us to live in fear and not sort of think for ourselves. I wonder why. Anyways, I'm not. I won't talk or get too much into the politics of things on this video. What I was actually going to do is make a continuation of the previous video talking about all of the different ideas that I could come up with or AI could come up with to help me with generating strong and meaningful YouTube content that'll help build up confidence in Canadians. So I want to do that. And the first one, this is going to be strictly for those who are prone to scams, those who feel like they might be a little bit susceptible to, a sleight of hand or scam calls and stuff like that. I know the CRA was hacked in the past, and so a lot of Canadian phone numbers are now in the hands of uh, malicious actors who want to get access to your accounts, your personal information. So this video is going to aim at helping create a video to combat that. So we're going to use AI to sort of defend ourselves against, what would be an AI caller or an AI scam call. But I think just in general, just having the ideas or knowledge about what to expect from a scam call is going to help. So let's get to it. I literally took the instructions from the previous agent and put it into ChatGPT here. If you guys go to chatgpt.com, you can literally do all of this yourself. I've asked the ChatGPT to help me create meaningful and insightful, factual, accurate YouTube video for a Canadian audience on how to protect against AI-powered scams. I run a Canadian AI agency, Peak Demand, and my goal is to produce viral, trust-building, and useful content that dispels fears, educates, and empowers viewers, especially seniors, boomers. You guys have all the power right now, but you're not doing anything with it. So our economy is sort of deteriorating. We got to get some tech going with you guys. I don't know how to convince you aside from just showing you it's safe and extremely powerful, but I think safety is the biggest concern for you. And families to stay safe from scams. What I need you to do, so the agent, is research and provide Canadian specific statistics on frauds and scams, especially voice impersonation, phishing, grandparent scams, phishing. I haven't seen that word yet. AI deepfake calls and senior targeted fraud. Including recent phone numbers 22 to 25, key demographics, trends, high profile Canadian cases. Identify emotional hooks, stories, case studies that will grab attention early in the video. Break down scam tactics step by step so viewers can easily recognize them. Include a live GPT demo segment where I can paste and prompt that creates a printable scam shield kit for Canadians. That's pretty. That scam shield kit's going in the description of this video with warning signs, a safe verification script, family coordination tips, and reporting contacts. Provide a recommended video structure, 7 to 9 minutes, spoken content with hook and context, scam tactics breakdown, Canadian specific impact section, live GPT demo, practical do's and don'ts, calls to action and resource sharing, suggest on-screen visuals, text overlay charts, screenshots, or key moments. All great stuff. So let's get into it. So I gave that to ChatGPT, and I'm asking ChatGPT, hey, help me create good content that promotes safety and AI adoption in Canada for Canadians boomers. Go. It came back with, here's a refined blueprint for your upcoming YouTube video aimed at empowering Canadians, especially seniors and their families, to spot and resist AI-powered voice scams. It's woven together Canadian-specific data, 2022 to 2025, emotional hooks, scam tactics, a live ChatGPT demo prompt where we can test it out. So here's some of the statistics on trends for, I guess, scams and fraud in the country. Fraud is surging overall in Canada. That's not good. Fraud cases in Canada nearly doubled over a decade, from 79,000 in 2012 to 150,000 in 2022. That sucks, guys. We got to keep our heads on a swivel here. Record losses and grandparent scams. In 2022, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centers, the CAFC, logged a staggering 530 million in total fraud losses, up from 40% in 2021's 380 million. Jesus Christ, that's $1 billion in money from scam guys. We live in an era of, well, first, when the internet came along, we're getting to an era of post trust where it's really hard to trust things that we see online. And so I think older generations, they lived in the era of trust where you can like literally talk to someone. Hey, I trust what you're saying. You sound like a upstanding person. Even seeing me on this YouTube, hey, this guy's on the computer. I got to trust him. Don't trust a word I say. Cross reference it with your own due diligence. DYOR, do your own research. I'm just here to show you how I literally live will show you how I do my research. You should do your own research as well. But we live in an era of post trust where it's hard to trust people. Like young people, we're not very trustworthy. We've had the short end of the stick too many times in literally the last 30 years to trust anyone. And I even think I sometimes believe we're going into the era of post concern where we're just no longer even concerned about bad things. And then the last one I believe was going to be post morality, where even like our moral compasses will spin on what things are right to do and what's wrong to do. That's a dystopian world that I hope we never see. I'm hoping that AI gets us to a point where we can avoid that. But anyways, boomers are very trustworthy people. They listen to people talk. They sound a little bit competent. They trust, hey, this person's a good person. Not all the time. So we want to sort of veer away from this $1 billion in scammed money. That's insane. I didn't even know that. Losses from emergency or grandparent scams alone soared to 9.2 million in 2022, up from 2.4 million in 2021. So if you're an older person watching this video, be more conscious of people speaking to you on the phone. Like I understand more when I call a business and I say, hey, we want to look at your digital, we want to look at your tech. Canadians, they turn around and say, hey, you're a scammer. It's just because our older generation has been scammed so many times that now they're in the era of post trust. They don't trust anyone, but there's still those people who are not so tech savvy still getting involved in scams because they're just unaware of these things are happening. So this video is for them. If you're watching this on YouTube and you feel like you're a very trustworthy older person, take that with a grain of salt. Maybe have a little bit more be a little bit more discerning with who you're talking to on the phone, because they could be a robot. So we're going to look out for that. Major criminal prosecutions from 2021 to June 2024. A cross-border grandparent scam operation out of Montreal defrauded hundreds of U.S. seniors, totaling 21 million. Canadian authorities arrested 23 suspects, with others facing up to 40 years in prison. So this is bad stuff, guys. People are going to jail for 40 years. That's like the same type of jail term you get for killing someone, maybe life in prison. But this type of scam for our older people and their retirement funds, the government doesn't like it at all. So hopefully this video helps. In July 2025, the ringleader Gareth West was apprehended. Wow, that was like literally last month. Oh, Jesus Christ. His network had reportedly amassed $30 million from U.S. seniors, spoofing numbers and using rideshare couriers to collect cash. Holy shit. That is crazy. Canadian anti-fraud bodies report increasing use of deepfake videos or voice impersonations featuring politicians, celebrities to push fraudulent investment services. I know about this one specifically because the only AI regulation in place in the States was brought upon by a team of malicious actors using Joe Biden's voice to call Joe Biden's voting block and tell them to vote for Trump during the election. So that's when AI regulation came into place for voice agents. You can only call people who've given your consent to call them. So you can't just spam cold call the entire country. So if you find people are doing that, they're probably breaking the law. Deep fake / AI voice scam growth. Canadians anti-fraud bodies report increasing use of deep fake videos or voice impersonations featuring politicians, celebrities. I just read that. Globally, AI-related fraud attempts surged 194% in 2024, many involving voice or video-based calls. A recent technology study found that deepfake fraud attempts grew 1,300% from 2023 to 2024, and individual victims losing over 6,000 USD. The financial sector losing over 10 million USD, showing how pervasive these scams are. Seniors are especially vulnerable. You guys aren't too aware of how powerful this technology is. You hear a voice on the phone, you think, oh, that must be a human being. Lo and behold, in robots now. RBC polling from late 2024 found that 65% of Canadians over 55 now feel they could identify a scam. I would beg to differ, down from 71% the previous year, indicating decrease in confidence. Or no, that makes sense now. I would 100% agree. Confidence in spotting fraud. It's getting harder and harder. So I hope this video is useful for you guys. Telemarketing fraud disproportionately targets older people because it's harder for you guys to differentiate between humans and agents. One report notes that seniors are 80% of victims in telemarketing scams. My parents get called by scammers all the time, and like I have to tell them, guys, you grew up in a time when it was safe and people were generally good and the economy was growing. There was opportunity for everyone. Now we live in a world where there's way too many people and not enough resources. We're fighting and clawing at each other just to buy food now. It's not like when you were growing up, when the baby boomers, you guys had a boom. Their whole life has been a boom. So you can't have that same sort of trusting mentality, in your final moments. You got to really, again, head on a swivel, because the young people, they're coming up harder, faster, stronger, and they don't care about anything because they don't have anything. Well, at least the majority of them. And this is especially prevalent in young men. That's a whole other topic of conversation, but I really do feel like young men have sort of don't have that guiding light or star, or something to look forward to. Be it owning a house, starting a family. Owning a house is almost impossible if you're not already on the property ladder in Canada. So there's this group of young people who feel like they don't have as much as they feel like they should, and they're looking at all these older people having a whole bunch of stuff and more. They're going to try and scam you. That's what they feel like they need to do in order to get ahead. So if you're an older person, keep watching. If you're a younger person and you want to do something good, set up a discovery call with us on Peak Demand. We'll show you how to use some AI. Maybe we'll find some work for you to do. Just getting back to the video here, emotional hooks and compelling stories. I mean, really, I don't care about this. I want to get to the good stuff. Scam tactics, breakdown, animated on-screen steps. Use on-screen text overlays or simple animations to walk through each scam tactic. So spoofed incoming numbers. These are people that pretend to be CRA or RCMP. Emotional urgency. Your grandchild's in real trouble. Don't tell anyone. If you get anyone who's saying any sort of these things, like they're the CRA or the RCMP on a call, and I'm going through the video. This is me making the video for you right now, so we don't have to make another video. It's all going to be done within the terminal. But I really want you to, sort of take in some of these indicators that it might be a scam. Spoof numbers, CRA doesn't call you, and it doesn't say CRA on the number when they call you. They'll have a number that comes from a out of nowhere office where you didn't even know that place existed in Canada, and then your CRA agent will be on the other line. Trust me, I know. Emotional urgency. This is something where people will use your children against you. They will tug on your heartstrings to make you vulnerable. And if they say something like "don't tell anyone," you're probably speaking to a scammer or someone. No one does this that has any semblance of logic. They're not going to tell you your grandchild's in trouble. Don't tell anyone. They're going to say your grandchild's in trouble. Call 911 right now. Scripted collusion. Calls passes to fake lawyers, police, bail agents. If you hear someone ever saying, "Oh, I've got to get this call over to our bank representative or our lawyer or our agent," or any crap like that, it's a scam. Please do not entertain these calls. If I can prevent one scam from this video, then my job is done. If I can just educate one person to protect themselves by getting information from AI to prevent an AI agent from calling them and asking these questions, even though a lot of the times I think it's humans trying to do this stuff, then it's great. Collection method: demand a wire transfer, courier pickup at the door, rideshare delivery, Bitcoin. If you have someone calling from the CRA saying that they need your Bitcoin so you can pay your taxes, please hang up the phone. I honestly think to myself, how the hell did we lose almost $1 billion in this stuff because it's so obvious to me, but I'm neck deep in AI every day, so I kind of have the wherewithal to think about it. Older people who don't even use a computer might not be thinking about that stuff. But if you're watching this video and you're in that group, someone says anything about crypto or we got to get a check in the mail or something like that, and it's not done direct bank transfer with the bank representative at the bank, and the bank hasn't already gone through all the necessary fraud filters that they do when they're like, bank people are trained to identify old people who are being scammed. That's how susceptible you guys are. Like, banks have to train their staff to protect you guys from yourselves. So, if I can help in that process, great. Voice cloning and deepfake, where this is where AI really gets dangerous, is mimicking voice patterns or phrases common to loved ones. Like, a lot of your granddaughter or grandson might put up videos on YouTube. Someone might take my voice off these YouTube videos and then call and use my voice to call and say, "Hey, Alex," or "Hey, it's Alex calling from Peak Demand." All sorts of stuff. You never know it's going to be me, and that to me is frightening. But that's why we put together agents and workflows, and our agent Sasha, she's unique. She's not copying anyone. We try not to recreate people that already exist. We try to give agents their own identity. But if you have someone calling that sounds like your daughter or your son saying someone's in trouble, I would even say plan ahead and say, if there was ever a case where this might happen, you have specific words that you're saying on the phone to make sure you understand, okay, this is a real person I'm talking to. Send me a text to prove that it's you, or say something that only you would know and an AI voice agent wouldn't know. Reloading, additional emergencies invented to draw more money. So if this person feels like they can't get you on the initial scam they called for, then they try to come up with another emergency. And I watch these videos all the time. It's generally like, old people who lived in a world where people were good. We don't live in a world where people are good anymore. We live in a world where people are trying to survive, and they will tend to do bad things in order to survive. So if you're an older person, you're seeing a new world. It's fast, it's scary, it's technological, and it's very dangerous. Being prepared or being aware of these things is going to be your best friend. Let me see. Visuals really help. I mean, like, I would love. We might get some visuals at the end of the video, but if you see someone calling from a fake caller ID or anything like that, if there's any inclination that you have internally, instinctually, that this might be a fake, based on what you're seeing on your phone, how that person sounds, odds are your intuition's right. Canada specific impact section. So this is where we'd be into the part of the video where we'd be looking at, a graphic showing how much fraud is causing Canadians to lose over time. We're up to 500 million in 2022. We get bar charts showing the same for grandparent scams, up to almost 10 million now. Scam networks going from Montreal that goes into the States. What else do we see? Emphasize RBC stats. Confidence in detecting scams has dropped in seniors from 71% to 65%. I would say that that's going to go down until the millennials and silent generation are out. Rest in peace. And then the new generation of old people, which is going to be Gen Xers and millennials, are probably going to be a little bit more sharper on this stuff. But again, if you're seeing this and you're in the former two groups and you're still a little afraid of who's calling you, be don't be afraid. Be courageous. Be fearless, but be mindful. That's what I would advise. So in Canada, fraud isn't slowing down; it's accelerating. Seniors lose 9.2 million to grandparent scams in 2022. A total reported loss topping 500 million. Confidence is shrinking, and most heartbreakingly, one of the fraud rings in Montreal scammed seniors across the U.S. for 21 mil. Later ballooned to 30 mil when the leader was finally arrested. This is not your grandma scam anymore. It's high tech, high stakes, and highly targeted. So they're using very powerful technology to find these people and trick them. And if you're watching this and you have been tricked before, just know that the guys who are doing it, they could have started tech companies. If I was in a bad place and I was thinking to myself, how do I get these people? Or how do I get back at these people? I could build automations that were dangerous as well. But I know that there's the end game of that is you're in jail 40 years, done. All that money is not going to do you much when you're in jail for 4 decades. So building out automations, meaningfully using AI in a safe way, that's going to allow the business to grow, and I'm going to be able to enjoy the benefits of happy customers and not scamming people. So I would very, very much advise, you know, learning more about tech. If you're a young person and you're on the fence about what you want to do next, there's always a better way. Trust me. A live chat GPT demo scam shield kit. So this is going to be in the video. When I post this video on YouTube, I'm going to include the scam shield kit for Canadians, especially seniors, and it's going to have all the information in the YouTube description. Practical do's and don'ts. I'll tell you that right now. Don't hang up and call back through a known number, or do hang up and call back through a known number. So call them back to see if when they respond, they know who they're talking to still. If someone's claiming to be your granddaughter or grandson, let's see if they can figure that out when you call them back. Do set up a family emergency code word. As I mentioned before, if you guys have code words like watermelon or pineapple, and then the other person on the other line says, what does that mean? If they say, what does that mean? Then that means it's a scam, because that's your code word and you've told your family members already. Do teach seniors that CRA or RCMP never demand immediate payment over the phone, ever. The CRA is not going to call you telling you have to pay your tax or you're going to go to jail if you don't pay. Neither is the RCMP. In text messages, I get texts like this. I get calls and texts like this all the time, and it's just like, it's every day for me now. It's like, whatever. Scammers are calling. I mean, I wish the CRA was never hacked because I really like my phone number. But I get calls for scams and hacks asking me, are you available right now? Do you want to work, or do you want to do this? You want to do that? Every day. It's just part of our world now. So it's better to be inoculated with knowledge than to try and navigate it without. Do report any suspicious calls to the CAFC and police, even if no loss is incurred. They always want more information. And do not, under any circumstances, send anything of value, including money, via gift cards, ride shares, or bitcoins while you're under pressure or emotional distress. Do not do it at all, ever. Don't let your fear or urgency override calm checking. Don't post personal life details publicly. And this is something that I had to get into my family. Do not post your entire life on social media. There are extremely vicious people out there who will use that information against you. I post on YouTube, share all about AI, but you don't see me posting up what I'm doing every day, or I'm here, I'm that. People will come and find you. They will come after you. Like this, we don't live in this nice world that everyone's so used to seeing on Instagram and TikTok. We live in a pretty intense space now in 2025 with everything that's going on. So sharing with others is not necessarily caring for yourself. Let's see. Let's go down here. Call to action, resource sharing. So I want to encourage you to tag your parents, your grandparents. In the Scam Shield kit, it's literally going to be in the description. I'm going to put all the text there so you can read it, and you can share this with your grandparents or parents if you're afraid about them getting subscribed. If you enjoyed or found any of this useful, then feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. I'm hoping that this useful content and these facts and figures helps people just become more familiar with technology and how they can be vulnerable to it. But just for coming up with this plan or idea on how to showcase or demonstrate or express the need to be aware of scams through AI. Like, this was all generated by AI, and it's literally giving me an outline for a script here to put onto YouTube. I'm showing it to you guys live and in the flesh, or not live and in the flesh, more just behind the scenes and how it would work. This is going to be the YouTube video, so I hope you can appreciate the rawness of how I go about trying to promote awareness for AI, for myself, for our agency. But you can take this type of practice and apply it to your own world, and that's sort of what I want to get at the bottom line for this series. So this was the first video in a series of videos that we're going to put together I'm going to put together because these guys don't have time for this stuff, that I'm going to put together for you just to make sure you can see how AI works, how it can be helpful, how it can be very thorough, and how you can share some of the things you find through conversations with AI with people that might be able to help them. Again, if you've liked this, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Bye now.